Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining in this continuing series of learning the Lagna. So, till now, we have covered Aries, which is Mesha, of course. Then we have covered Taurus, and we have also covered Gemini. Okay. So, today we'll be, going through, running through a Cancer Lagna. Okay. So, you know, the Cancer is symbolized by the crab. Okay. And we know that the hard carapace of a crab, it covers a soft underbelly. Okay. And you know to make things clear, Cancerians, they have a very formidable intellect. Okay. But that formidable intellect, it sits on top of a pool of emotions. Okay. And one reason why these emotions tend to emerge to cloud the thought making process in times of crisis is that Mercury, which is the planet of the mind and the lord of the third house of intellect, is also the lord of the 12th house of loss. Okay. And the other reason why these people, they have so much emotional issues, is the profound influence of the emotional grahas on this lagna. Okay, the lagnesha, which is the moon, it rules the first house. Okay, and Cancer is the fourth house of emotion in the natural zodiac, that means in the Kalpurus chart. And for Cancer, Venus rules the fourth house. Okay, so these are all watery grahas connected to the fourth house. Yes. And the third reason why this lagna is so emotional is that, while the moon, which is the significator of emotions, is debilitated in the fifth house of discernment. Yes, so the fifth house represents our ability to distinguish between right and wrong. And in case of Cancer ascendant, the fifth house is, of course, Scorpio, and there the moon gets debilitated. Okay. Whereas the fifth lord, which is Mars, okay, Mars is the Karaka for logic. It signifies a piercing intellect, basically. And that fifth lord Mars, it gets debilitated in the Lagna, that means in the first house. Okay. So this reciprocal debilitation of the first and the fifth lords, that means of the moon and Mars, it makes it doubly difficult for the discriminating intellect to prevail over the emotions. Okay. And because this happens very frequently, it creates a lack of or disappointment with children. Okay, it can also, if moon and Mars get further afflicted, it can also cause the loss of a child. Okay. Now we also know that the moon and Mars, they are good friends. Okay, so this friendship between the moon and Mars, it makes the Cancer native very strongly attracted to the ideals of intellect and progeny. Okay, but then their reciprocal debility tends to prevent them from readily developing and sustaining these two areas of life. Okay, but then Mars is also the 10th lord. Okay, so as I said, moon and Mars are very good friends. So this good friendship between the moon and the 10th lord Mars, it creates a very dynamic interest in career. Okay, now the moon is also exalted as the Lagna lord in the 11th house. Okay, the moon gets exalted in the 11th house for Cancer ascendant. So what happens is, since the Lagna Lord gets exalted in the 11th house, it makes friends and associates very important to a Cancer native. Okay. But then those friendships, those attachments to friends, they may be varied. Okay. And as fluctuating as the moon. All right. And it also happens, though, that Cancer natives are attracted to, or they tend to attract opponents. Why? Because the Lagna Lord Moon and the sixth Lord Jupiter are again friendly to each other. Yes. So there is usually a capacity, both to benefit through enemies and to have one's luck obstructed by enemies. Yes. Depending on how the sixth house and the ninth house combine. All right. The sixth house, of course, represents enemies, and the ninth house, it represents luck and gain. So it will depend on how it will depend this interaction between moon and Jupiter will depend as to how the Cancer native can benefit from enemies, or can be obstructed in their can be obstructed by by enemies from reaching their objectives. Okay, but however, in this Lagna, Cancer Lagna is supposed to be the luckiest Lagna. Okay, so benefits from opponents, they often outweigh obstacles because Jupiter, who rules the sixth house and the ninth house, is the great negotiator. Okay, so if you have a strong Jupiter, you will have great negotiation skills. This is a predictive principle that you can use in general. Okay, and because Jupiter rules a Dusthana and a Kona simultaneously, it causes Cancer natives to be attracted to religion and then frequently to find obstructions in their progress in the spiritual path. Okay, now Moon, which rules Cancer, is a very domestic graha. Okay, it is the mother. So Cancer natives are very strongly interested in the home life. Okay, and the Moon, we also know, is a significator of the fourth house of home. Okay, and Venus, which is the planet of pleasure and enjoyment, it rules the fourth house. Okay, and these people are also strongly interested in home because the Sun, which is of course the father figure, which is the karaka for father, it rules the second house of family. Okay, so Saturn, which indicates your ability to keep secrets. Okay, it is the karaka for secrets. So Saturn owns both the seventh and eighth houses, and since the eighth house indicates secrets, yes, Cancer natives, they often keep their partnerships and marriages private. Okay, and this blending of seventh and eighth houses also suggests obstacles or delays to marriage, or maybe even obstacles in married life. Okay, now there could also be some tragedy associated with death, like a chronic disease or maybe some kind of unnatural death, because both Saturn and the eighth house suggest tragedy, right? And also such a case may confront a Cancer native because the seventh, which is of course a Marka house, is also ruled by Saturn. Okay, so this is about Cancer Lagna or Cancer Ascendant. In the next video, we will have a look at Leo Lagna, the Lagna for Kings. Okay, so that's it from me in this video. If you find this content useful, kindly like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want a reading regarding your chart, please reach out at the number provided in the description box. I'll see you soon. Om Gurave Namaha.